In this video we talk about how the shorts are desperate for more cash. Hey, welcome to AMC Daily. If you are new to the channel, be sure to subscribe to the channel and turn on post notifications by hitting the bell so you never miss any of our uploads and also enter our giveaway. But everyone remember, this is not a financial advice video. So as Biotech Moose tweeted, and as a perfect example, it looks like Thomas Peterffy is scrambling for cash. Now obviously, Thomas Peterffy is the chairman for Interactive Brokers. In between January 4th and January 26th, he alone sold 80,000 IBKR shares at $79 per share. That's a total of $6.3 million cash. As Biotech Moose tweeted, he said Thomas Peterffy likely needs cash because he's bleeding cash in his short positions. You may remember that video that came out the other day of Thomas Peterffy speaking about GameStop and AMC and looking very sad and with some very poor body language. Thomas Peterffy is therefore likely also shorting AMC and GameStop himself and realizes he's just about to be squeezed. Therefore, he's trying to do anything he possibly can to sell off more shares, to generate more cash, to either add to his short position or to try and bail out at the last moment. As Biotech Moose tweeted, he said $6.3 million buys a lot of APE or a lot of AMC call options to hedge his short position. And he said surely Susquehanna, Virtu, Jane Street, Citadel and Bank of America told Thomas Peterffy when he believes that they flip long on AMC several months ago. Or maybe Interactive Brokers is one of their selected debt bag holders and is likely to take the punishment for AMC squeezing and will end up bankrupt. But again, it's not just Thomas Peterffy and Interactive Brokers, because Credit Suisse is also one of the largest debt holders for AMC and one of the largest lenders to the short sellers. Trapped by the apes, we know that Credit Suisse has written tons and tons of total return swaps, which actually features later on in the video. We know that Credit Suisse wrote tons of these total return swaps and are likely on the other side of our trade and are stumping up tons of capital and tons of risk for these total return swap short positions. When AMC squeezes, it's likely that Credit Suisse will go the exact same way as kohrs Capital Management, aka bankrupt. Now, Credit Suisse has been caught lying about the severity of its capital outflows to boost clients' confidence. Credit Suisse is obviously desperate for cash or desperate to hang on to their cash if they're having to lie to their clients about just how much investors are withdrawing. The Credit Suisse chairman said that withdrawals had basically stopped even though there was another $25 or $30 billion worth of withdrawals exactly a month after he made that statement. And now the Credit Suisse chairman is being investigated by the Swiss market regulators for potentially saving Credit Suisse from an imminent bankruptcy with lies. Which again, really goes to show that Credit Suisse is indeed desperate for cash if their own CEO and chairman is willing to lie about the company to save it or to save the money. There's currently a massive rate to insure against the default for Credit Suisse because every possible indicator is pointing towards a Credit Suisse bankruptcy. And in terms of other hedge funds that are likely in deep trouble, check out this tweet from Cat Striker and from G-Man. G-Man tweeted saying that Citigroup currently has $65 billion in securities sold not yet purchased. Citadel also have $65 billion and Susquehanna have $78 billion. He said that's a total of $210 billion worth of stock that have been sold but never purchased just from 3 Wall Street hedge funds. I can only imagine the total amount of stocks that have been sold and not yet purchased, not just between these 3 hedge funds, but between all of the hedge funds on Wall Street and those major prime brokers as well. As a reminder, securities sold and not yet purchased are a mix of securities that have been sold aka shorted where real shares haven't been located. But there are also shares that have been bought by us where our trading platforms couldn't locate real shares to sell to us and therefore simply issued IUs. And it seems these shorts are likely trembling right now due to all of the positive catalysts coming for the AMC squeeze. Obviously, Adam Aron tweeted over the weekend saying, "Are you ready for it out there in Twitter land?" He said, "Here's the beautiful packaging of the 6 new real movie theater quality varieties of home AMC perfectly popcorn." He said the details of where and when you can buy it in stores will be announced this week. This again is another instance where Adam Aron is repeating some words or something 3 times back to back. Now, again, I don't know what this truly means, but I do know what this photo truly means, which is that AMC is going to be selling some brilliant popcorn in stores near you. This is yet another sign of the AMC fundamentals improving and simply another revenue stream for AMC that will be brilliant and will likely be profitable. While a hedge fund can indeed short a stock, and can indeed illegally manipulate a stock, A hedge fund can't short a new revenue stream. The hedge funds can't short this store-bought popcorn. And as Suspended Post tweeted, he said shorts are screwed this week during the AMC earnings season. He said the 2022 box office killed it. Plus, new news from Adam Aron on the popcorn in stores. And he said it's a wrap and the shorts are going to get vaporized. AMC's revenue have risen from $1.2 billion in 2020 to $2.5 billion in 2021. But now again to $4 billion in 2022. This is again just brilliant for the AMC fundamentals, significantly improving AMC as a company and therefore likely to cause an AMC squeeze similar to the Tesla squeeze. And again, to combine that with even more catalysts, we now have AMC on the threshold securities list for not just 13 days straight, but now 16 days straight. We've also obviously got that crazy high cost of borrowing fee for AMC and the non-existent FTX synthetics that obviously aren't around any longer. It seems these shorts are just burying themselves deeper and deeper and deeper into this short position and running out of cash every single day. And it also seems from StockSense Frank that fear is creeping back into the wider market as well. He said the February monthly call option volume for the volatility index, aka the VIX, is on track to be the highest since the beginning of the pandemic back in March of 2020. Now, to simplify exactly what this means, if you take out a call option on something, you're effectively betting that it's going to go up. The VIX, which is the volatility index tracker, basically summarizes how everyone is feeling about the market when the VIX declines. It means that everyone is confident about the market, and the market is likely rising. But when the VIX increases or the VIX spikes, everyone is panicking, likely because of a stock market crash. If tons of investors are buying call options for the VIX at potentially a new all-time high record, it basically means that everyone out there thinks the market is about to crash once again. And obviously, if the next laydown of the market crash does happen, it means that these shorts are going to lose tons and tons of their cash, which they don't really have, because their long positions are going to dwindle even more, forcing those margin calls and forcing those liquidations. And on top of that, it's not just the wider market purchasing these call options, it's also the Bank of America CEO Brian Moynihan, who said to prepare for a US debt default and a recession. And a Bank of America strategist has also said the stock market will take a hit in the second half of this year, and that drop would likely be due to the delayed recession in the US. Basically, Bank of America is also thinking the stock market is just about to crash, or the next laydown is just about to start, whether it's in the second quarter or the second half of this year. That seems to echo or match these purchasing and call options in the VIX and seems to match exactly what other major banks are thinking. JP Morgan Chase and Goldman Sachs. Now, finally, I also wanted to uncover Antara's true short position and compare it to their true long position. As Crystal Ball tweeted, he said Antara is short and he knew it. He said they sold short 380,000 shares of AMC, and they have several swaps and several per options as well, to all bet on an AMC price decline. This here is the total position for Antara, for both AMC and for APE as well. In terms of just solely the underlying shares, they hold 5 million AMC shares and around 250 million APE preferred equity units. But on top of that, you can also see they have an absolutely massive list of AMC and APE derivatives. They have 7 individual total return swaps in AMC, ranging from 360,000 shares worth to 10 million shares worth. It's likely the counterparty to these total return swaps is none other than Credit Suisse themselves. Credit Suisse are also desperate for cash because they've been lying to investors about the true amount of investor withdrawals. On top of this, Antara also have a massive mix of call options and put options, but as you can see from this list, clearly have more put options than they have calls. However, something I do find very, very interesting is, despite how large this list actually is, their true short position isn't really too large compared to their long position. If you count up the number of AMC shares and their total return swaps and all of their put options, they're only shorting around 17 million AMC shares indirectly through these derivatives. But obviously, they're holding 250 million APE preferred equity units. And therefore, net are actually long on AMC. Therefore, Antara is actually hoping for the success of AMC because, net, they actually have a long position. They're obviously just hedging this massive long position with a smaller amount of put options and a smaller amount of total return swaps. However, even though Antara specifically does have a smaller short position, It goes to show that actually many of these hedge funds are indeed using and abusing these total return swaps. They obviously don't have to report any of this ownership for their total return swaps in their 13 Fahrenheit filings. And that's how so many hedge funds or major institutions are flying completely undercover on their AMC short positions. Guys, that's all we have for you today. What is your opinion about AMC stock? Get involved and let us know in the comments down below. Thank you for watching.